What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Burnout Brighter podcast. My name's Matt. I'll be your host for this evening's events. This is episode 125. I'm joined, as always, by my wonderfully lovely co-host, Darren.
Hello, Matthew. How are you today?
What a weird way to enunciate that sequence of words. Destiny is not joining us today because it's her birthday, so she's doing birthday stuff. She's taking some time to herself. So everybody, if you're listening on the day this comes out, it'll be a couple days after Destiny's birthday, but still hit her up on Twitter at DNBC32. Shout her out with some birthday love, and we'll see her back here very, very soon to continue our ridiculous tomfoolery. On this week's episode, we are going to be talking about a 2022 hype check. What's coming out this year? What do we think about some of these games coming out this year? What is actually going to make it this year? We're going to do all of that to talk about. But Darren, before we get any deeper in to this DP podcast, what's new? What's been going on, buddy? How are you doing?
I've been good. As you can hear from my... I don't know where I was going with that hello today. I really don't. I apologize to everyone who had to listen to that. I'm good though. I'm good. Been just kind of chilling and trying to tell myself that I should not be playing Final Fantasy 14. I should play something else. But then what happens? I keep coming back, Matt. I keep crafting. I keep leveling my crafters. I picked up a pugilist to try out some pugilistness. I just got monk because pugilist turns into monk.
How's the pugilist monkey endeavors?
It's okay so far. It's very weird. I was playing ninja. I leveled ninja, Matt, all the way up to 80. And when I thought about leveling it from... Yeah, I know, right? When I thought about leveling it from 80 to 90, I just decided I didn't want to do that because I wasn't having fun playing it. I got it all the way to level 80 to decide that I don't want to play it anymore.
Oh, okay. That's a normal way to handle things. Let me spend way too much time on this thing and decide how many hours roughly, Darren, do you think it took you to get to level 80?
Probably like 10 or 12.
So you could have played like the Forgotten City 3 times over. You could have played plenty of other games multiple times or some games once. And instead you spent 10 to 12 hours on an activity that you then decided you didn't really enjoy that much anyway.
Yeah. I think that's how they get you. They got me good. And so I'm trying to erase that memory by spending another 10 to 12 hours leveling another job that hopefully I won't feel was a waste of time in the end.
So I have to ask, Darren, because you've now leveled like a few jobs, right? You spent some time in a bunch of different camps. What is your favorite job to play? What's your favorite one?
Well, it's kind of a tie. It's kind of a tie. I mean, I have a special...
Of the bow variety?
The bow variety?
Is it a bow tie? Is it a
bow tie? Oh, no. I mean, if I played Bard, that would be like the best frickin' pun ever. But unfortunately, I don't play Bard. I play White Mage.
Double dang it. Motherfucker.
White Mage is probably my favorite just because I'm a smooth-brained boy and I like dumb jobs where I don't need to think for myself. And White Mage is like the simplest of all the healers, and I really enjoy healing because it gives you something to do and worry about other than just like hitting a rotation over and over and over again. Because you have to worry about keeping people alive and you have to like think on your feet, and it's really enjoyable. And White Mage is just like very powerful as a healer. I mean, other than that, I also like Dancer because it's another smooth brain job and I look pretty and I like to move around a lot and I don't have to stand still and I dance, and that gives me the time to like focus on the boss, so I don't like screw up the entire team because I was like focused on doing damage and then I died.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. I like it.
And then other than that, I think you tried it out too, but I've been playing some Deep Rock Galactic.
Nice, yes.
I started playing it, and it's really addicting, actually. Like, I don't normally like those kinds of games, I don't think, where it's like very much like a free-to-play feeling game, even though it's not a free-to-play game. And I don't think there's any like currency that you can buy in the store. I think it's like an actual game, but it's set up with like a battle pass and stuff, like a AAA
Mm-hmm.
game. But like there's something very addicting about being a dwarf who likes rock and stone, and he hits big rocks and shoots big guns and collects gold and upgrades himself. It's fun.
It's amazing because that game I kept hearing about, and then it's one of our PlayStation Plus games this month of January. And it's wild because like I saw the developers tweeting out about how like they were like starting to blow up when like before PlayStation Plus. I heard a lot of good things, and
Right.
after PlayStation Plus, they went from like 5 million players to over 10 million. Their thing like more than doubled
Holy
in terms
crap.
of player count after it came to PlayStation Plus. So a lot of people seem to be connecting with it. And like, yeah, I've spent some time with it as well. It's a lot of fun. It's like it's not a game that I'd play by myself, but I enjoy playing it with friends.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't ever want to play it solo. Like I'm sure it's
Mm-hmm.
fine, and they have a cool mechanic where like if you do play solo, you take a drone in with you, and you can command that drone to
Mm-hmm.
kind of like replace the fact that there's no teammates. So it's playable solo, but like I'm only playing it because it's the cooperative experience.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, what have you been up to?
I've been up to a whole bunch of stuff. I continue my journey with God of War PC. Thank you, PlayStation Canada. It continues to be awesome. I'm really, really enjoying it. We'll have a review up soon. I've also been I continue Eastward. Eastward continues to be downright fucking adorable, but also weird, but also like I can't figure out where this game is going and what's happening.
Very
And I
cool.
love that. I love how strange it is. How like Sam, one of the main characters, is like absolutely melts my hearts with her animations and how cool she is, and like I'm really really enjoying Eastward. And then
Nice.
I've also played about 15 minutes of Fracked, which is a PSVR game that I've heard incredibly good things about, and I picked it up because it was on sale.
Right.
And like I haven't gotten like VR motion sick in a while. But after about like 10 to 15 minutes of that game, I basically like ripped the headset off my head almost like puked on my floor. Because I tried to be stupid and been like, I can make it, I can make it, I can make it. And I did not make it. But like it's been a while since I've played like an action oriented game like that in VR. So granted, like my VR sea legs aren't as strong as they used to be, and I'm already prone to motion sickness. But also, there isn't a ton of accessibility features in Fract. Like there aren't
Right.
like some of the more heavy blinders and stuff that you can put on to kind of try to mitigate that, which a lot of games offer, but Fract doesn't have that. Um, Regardless, like the game is really really cool. Like it's a very like actiony, or like it's almost like a James Bond movie. Like you start by like you know skiing down a mountain that has an avalanche behind you, and then like there's like you like land on this thing and you have to start shooting guys and stuff. It's really really cool, but like I'm definitely gonna have to like rebuild my tolerance before I continue that game because it almost messed me up.
So like do you think it is the game, or do you think it's just your tolerance?
I think it's my tolerance. The game definitely doesn't have enough options for someone who is prone to motion sickness. Like a lot of the other games, even like The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, when I messed around with that, again, it's like a very action oriented game. There's a lot of free movement, but you can also set the blinders up and you can kind of turn on a bunch of stuff to make the experience uh, less in your face right away.
Right.
Fract doesn't have the same level of accessibility when it comes to that.
Yes, okay.
So it's like, but
Sorry.
it's also just me not being. It's also just me not like I said, I haven't played VR in that way in a while. So like I'm
Right.
also not where I should be with it. So it's twofold. Like
Right.
you know.
Right. Sorry, I just want to ask because like I remember when this trailer came out during, I think it was a state of play, it was announced or something like that, and it looked really, really good. Like from the trailer, like the
Mhm.
trailer showed really well. I was really curious about it. How does it like? You played it a little bit, I guess. Do you have like
Mhm.
opinion on how good it is compared to something like Blood and Truth?
It's really cool. It's a very different experience. Like this really does feel more like a James Bondy type esque thing. Like Blood and Truth is very much like a here's like a you in the mafia kind of thing. Like you're
Right.
in it. But it plays really well. Like I had no graphical issues. It looks really pretty. It has like this really cool cell shaded art style to it. The gunplay feels great. Like the movement feels awesome. Like there's a lot of ways that you can kind of like, quickly move around the levels. So
Is
it's
it like
really
a full
cool. It's
game?
really well done.
Is it like a full
Yeah.
game, or is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
like a more of like an on rails kind of thing? Like, a lot of PSVR games tend to be more like experiences rather than like full games, like something like Resident Evil 7 would feel like. So like how complete and, I don't know, big does it feel?
Well, from what I understand, the game takes about like 3.5 to 4 hours to complete.
Okay. So it's on the
So it is
shorter end.
a bit is on it. It's on the shorter end, but it does feel like a full game. Like it's like it feels like I'm working my way through levels. It's not just like here's like here's this one thing you do, then you do this next thing, then you do next thing. Like when you get to the part, you have to move around the levels. You can explore, you can find different stuff if you depending on where you're looking. Like it does feel like a full game. So
Okay.
like it's I again like the problem is myself as much as it is the game. So I kind of have to rebuild my tolerance before I continue on with it. But I really enjoyed what I played, and then my body just decided to go against me. And the last thing that I want to mention,
I don't enjoy it.
my body's like no more of this, and like VR sickness can stay with you for hours. So once I hit that point, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm gonna go do something else. I hopped back into Final Fantasy 14 just for a little bit. Still great. Still working my way through Heaven's Word. But the last thing I want to mention is I finally started Peace Walker.
What? That's
not
a
Peace
weird...
Walker. Peacemaker. No. Peacemaker. Peacemaker.
Okay, I was like, you just randomly started playing a PSP Metal Gear Solid game?
No. That's Peacemaker. The James Gunn. And what's it called?
John
Cena show. Yeah. Really, it's really stupid, but I'm really enjoying it so far. Like I just finished the second episode, so I still have a couple more to catch up with before I kind of I'm all caught up. But like, acting's really solid. The action's been great. Like it's really stupid. It's really dumb, but it feels like very authentically James Gunn, and John Cena's been killing it. So I'm enjoying it for what it is.
I've heard good things. I've heard really good things about the show.
Yeah, I think you'd like it, Darren. It's really solid. So like I'm going to continue on with that. But yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. But Darren, we're here to take a look at the year of the Lord 2022 because we are going to be taking a bit of a gander. We're gonna look at and see what's upcoming, what we know is coming this year, what we think is coming this year, what we think might be delayed out, and just kind of do a bit of a hype check. See how we feeling. Are we excited? Are we ready for this year's ridiculousness? Because god damn it, Darren, it is upon us. The shit show is about to begin. January, February, and March are already jam packed full of shit.
Yeah. My mouth is wide open and I'm ready to shovel in the trash.
No, you're not. You're a filthy liar. You're just going to keep playing Final Fantasy 14. You're going to ignore everything else that's come out, and you're just going to keep playing Final Fantasy 14. You fucking liar. You're going to keep buying games, and you're not going to finish any of them. You're going to have one game finished this year, and it's going to be Final Fantasy 14.
Don't call me out like that, Matt. I don't like it.
So let's start in January because we're already off to a good start. We already had, God of War PC came out, which was, for a lot of people, and it continues to sell well. I think it was on number 1 on the Steam charts for the last couple of weeks. So people really seem to be, digging it and enjoying it. For the rest of January, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus coming on January 28th, alongside Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, which is, Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy combined. And that's kind of what we have for the rest of January, Darren. Are you excited about any of these? Or do any of these kind of tickle your pickle? Do they excite you? How do you feel about what we have coming for the rest of January?
Well, no, see, like January for me, and I don't think I normally... January is like the precursor to the big stuff. And it's always like that February, March, that's when you get the juiciest morsels. January is the appetizer, and I don't feel hungry enough for an appetizer. I think I'd like to just move on to the main course because those are nice, but that's not why we're here. We're here for the steak. And
see, Darren, Go ahead, finish your dinner analogy. Let's see where this goes.
I was gonna say maybe Pokemon Arceus is something that
Arceus
is something that is maybe something that other people might like. I've heard through the grapevine some good things about the game, despite it looking like Breath of the Wild through a pixelator.
Yeah, I'm genuinely excited for Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm happy Game Freak is doing something new, and like as Darren's mentioned, through the grapevine,
the
game,
the gaping maw of Arceus.
Arceus. The game's leaked, so you can play it on PC or if you have a homebrewed Switch. So there's been a lot of chatter online about people playing it already, and people seem to be generally kind of people seem to be excited about it. A lot of people are saying it really does feel like Monster Hunter, but Pokemon. So I'm excited to kind of dive in, and I'm excited for Uncharted as well. I am excited to kind of jump back in and check those games out once more, playing on the PS5. And plus, Darren, I don't know if you've heard, but there is an incentive to pick this up, Darren.
What?
More so than ever before.
What?
If you buy this game, Darren, or if you upgrade to this game, Darren, you get a free ticket to the Uncharted movie.
What?
Which is imminent. Yeah, that's what they're doing now. So, yeah, so if you buy it or if you upgrade to it, you get included a free ticket to the Uncharted movie, because I guess they really want people to go out there and see it. So they're literally giving tickets away, and I'm really curious as to how this kind of plays into box office numbers and so on and so on.
Like, smells like desperation.
If they sell a copy of the game, does that, even though the ticket's included, does that count as a copy of does that count as a ticket sold as well?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's some
straight up
shady creative bullshit
of the box office.
Emboozling.
This box office.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, well, I'm excited about the games. The movie's going to be what the movie's going to be. Let's move into February, Darren, because there is a hell of a lot happening between Life is Strange Remastered, Dying Light 2. I know a lot of people are excited about Ollie World, Sifu. We got Kingdom Hearts coming to Switch in cloud form. We have the second season of Call of Duty Warzone starting. We have Dynasty Warriors 9. We have King of Fighters 15. We have Horizon Forbidden West on February 18th. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, the latest expansion, on February 22nd. We have Martha is Dead, which I know you're very excited about, on February 24th. Elden Ring is coming out February 25th. Nobody cares about that game. And then Evil Dead, the game, is supposed to also be coming in February without an actual release date as of yet. And the rumor and Steam Deck is supposed to start, coming out around that time as well. So there in February becomes an utter shit show. Because for me, I'm genuinely curious. So I'm excited because I want to try Life is Strange Remastered. I missed the games the first time around, and I feel like this is a good opportunity to jump in because I keep hearing how fantastic True Colors is as well. Dying Light 2, I'm excited about. I'm excited. I wasn't a massive fan of the first one, but with this one being 500 hours long, I'm excited to kind of give it a whirl. I'm very curious to see. Did you not see that?
No, I did. I'm just laughing at how absurd that number was. I mean, obviously, there's no way it's actually 500 hours. I think that was hyperbole. No. But just, can you imagine? Honestly, if I found out that a game was actually 500 hours long, I wouldn't play it. I just would not play that game.
Darren.
Oh, for God's
sake. How long did Final Fantasy 14 take you? That's probably literally not that. That probably is literally not that far off if you add up the base game plus the expansions without all the farming and the other, stat rolling bullshit. I would assume it's probably somewhat close.
Yeah, no, okay, no. I think that if you were to just go through the story of Final Fantasy 14 as it was released, just the main story quest, you could probably do it in 200 hours or less.
Okay, so you're saying 200 hours? Hold on. I'm gonna go to how long to beat.
I want to know.
Okay.
I want to know. You might have to go to each expansion individually. I don't know if they'll just do like a.
I will. Don't worry. Yeah, I will.
I got my calculator up. I'm gonna add these together.
The single player, Darren, is ranges from 107 to 1,556 hours. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, this gets hard. Okay.
So when they say the single player, you're just like for Final Fantasy 14, like as a whole, not the expansions, or saying just around the board.
If I'm reading this right, Heavensward is a first proper expansion, right? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So we have Final Fantasy 14, Heavensward, then we have Stormblood, and I'm kind of like I'm omitting the stuff in between.
Yeah,
but like that also will add in a significant amount of hours.
No. Okay, I think that's included. I think that's included because that counts as part of the.
So Darren, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a look at just the main story, which is what you quantified, right? Just the main story, and I'm gonna take the average. Does that sound fair?
Oh no. Because the average.
I'm gonna take the average,
like...
not the rushed.
Okay.
Not the rushed, or fine. I'll take the median. No, that median. No, that works way less. I'll give you the average. Okay,
fine.
Okay.
Average.
For just the main story, because main story and extras and completionists and everything that obviously skyrockets.
Just the main story.
So, this is definitely the podcast. This was the plan for the podcast, but very quickly. The main story, the average is 114 hours for Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
114 plus another 70 for Heavensward.
Okay.
Plus another 63 for Stormblood.
Okay.
Plus another 50, I'm going to call it 60 hours because it's 59 minutes, 47 minutes, 59 hours, 60 hours. We're going to call Shadowbringer 60 hours.
Okay.
And Endwalker another 50.
Okay, that's 350 hours. 357 to be precise. That's a lot.
Anyways, but no, I'm curious because Dying Light 2 seems like a genuine improvement in just like in every single way. I really am curious to see how much the story is actually going to change, how your relationships can actually affect what's going on with the the different factions in the game and stuff. I'm stoked for Sifu. It's one of my most anticipated games this year. That game just looks badass. And then Horizon Forbidden West, I'm really excited about. I genuinely think this is going to be a huge step forward for Horizon as a franchise. And then Elden Ring, as I've mentioned before, my current plan is to not play it, but everybody knows what a sucker I am for hype. So we'll see if I eat my own words in about a month's time. But Darren, and then obviously my Steam Deck reservation is still showing a shipment as of the end of February.
Okay.
So I might get it. In February, March-ish. So knock on wood.
Okay.
But Darren, tell me, what are your thoughts on February? Where are you at on all this? Because there's a lot of games going on here.
Yeah, February is getting closer to the meaty steak. That's where I'm at. Because again, Horizon, great. That's it. No. Horizon. No, I'm joking. That was
okay.
That was a jest. No, like out of the games you mentioned, like I am not as interested in a lot of them. I am like I will not be playing Dying Light 2 and I will not be playing Sifu probably, although they both look very good. But Horizon Forbidden West, massive. Elden Ring for me is my big game that I'm really excited for. Like that makes February massive already for me. I've heard that Elden Ring, they estimated the main story at 30 hours, which is like to compare that to Dying Light 2's hyperbole of 500 hours. Elden Ring's teeny weeny 30 hours for main story, which we know is a lie. It's actually going to be way longer than that. Because you usually just like run around all over the stuff. Like I need to play the games that I have on my back burner and get them done. Because I really want to be there at launch for Elden Ring. Because I know I challenged you to see who could beat Elden Ring first. I think something around there. I don't know if I said those.
We had something like that. Oh my god, no! We did have a bet. I have to buy this fucking game. I can't remember what the bet was now.
I think it was like, who was gonna beat it first? Because I play games really slow, but I have much more experience with From Software games.
Right.
So you wanted to see if you could beat it before me. You're probably going to play like Spellcaster or something, and I was going to be like a melee or a dex build, so I couldn't rely on
You're right.
spellcasting.
Yes, you're right. Okay. That's
So
bet is back on. Never mind. Get hype. Elden Ring.
but I'm also gonna be busy with school, so we'll see. But and also just a side note, this doesn't make February big, but I am curious about the Evil Dead game still, and that's still on for February, so we'll see what happens there.
Is that a day one for you? I'm not trying to like I'm genuinely asking. Like if the Evil Dead, if you...
No, absolutely not. No way.
Okay.
No effing way is that a day one for me. I gotta see if that's actually good before I decide if I want to buy that.
So for February, then, is Elden Ring your biggest day one? Then is that your only day one?
Oh yeah, that is the only. Actually, no. For Horizon is. Oh, see, it's tough because I don't have a PS5 yet, and I would really like to play Horizon Forbidden West on PS5, but it's probably going to still be a day one for me on PS4 because I really like the first game. I want to play it. So
Fair
it'll
enough.
probably be day one as well.
Nice. Yeah, I think for me, Dying Light's probably a wait and see for me. I'm really curious about it, but I don't know if I'll buy it day one. Sifu, I'm there for. Sifu, like cool. I can't wait. I'm really, really excited about Sifu. And then Horizon, I'm gonna guess I'm gonna review it. So that's a day zero for me.
You got a PS5 for a reason, right? I mean, like,
yeah. So I'm assuming, hopefully, PlayStation Canada don't smite me for saying this, but I'm hoping I'm going to be reviewing that. And then, like I said, fucking Elden Ring. Now I'm back in. I was starting to fade out. But now my hype's been reinvigorated, and I'm back. So like I'm gonna have quite a bit to play over the course of the next month or so because Pokemon, I'm gonna like try like Uncharted. I'm going to like rip through because like I've already played them both. Pokemon is going, from what I'm hearing, can take anywhere between like 30 to 50 hours, seemingly so. Some leakers are saying that they're like 40 hours in, and with an estimated completion time of about 50 hours. We'll see how true that is once the reviews actually start rolling out. And then between like I'm assuming Sifu is probably going to be like a 10 to 12 hour thing at most. I don't anticipate it being longer than that. I could be wrong.
I'd be surprised.
But then Horizon's going to be. I feel like it's going to be quite a bit longer than the first one. I feel like it's going to be a big meaty game to try and get through before Elden Ring.
We'll see.
And I know a lot of people genuinely are very excited for Warzone Season 2 and Destiny 2, the next expansion of the Witch Queen.
A lot of people that
that's not really our. Yeah, a lot of people that aren't us. I just want to mention it that it's there, but it's not really for us. And then Kingdom Hearts, I don't know, dude. A cloud version for me on Switch just sounds like the biggest fucking turnoff. Like I don't want it.
I agree. That's why I didn't even bring it up. Like I would love to have the collection all in one, and I think Switch portably would be fun. But like the fact that they ported the PS4 version of every single game when we know that the first two collections can run on Switch natively. They were PS3 games. I have them both. I have 1.5 and 2.5 for my PS3. That's where I got my, like, where is he? He's right here. Come to me. I have my
little heartless
Shadow plushie from the collector's edition of the 1.5, 2.5 collection for PS3. But like Cloud, screw you, Square Enix. Bite me.
Yeah. Especially because I'm assuming that is going to be a very expensive set of games that you can buy like a genuine, like all-in collection on pretty much any other platform for a fraction of the cost. Yeah. But Darren, I have to apologize to NIS America because this, well, also, by the way, I'm pulling from GamesRadar.com, who have a video game release date. So thank you, GamesRadar, for doing that. But also, fuck you, GamesRadar, because you missed a very important game that I'm incredibly excited about coming in February from NIS America. Monarch is launching February 22nd, and that is like a new JRPG that's been out in Japan for like a little over a year now, I think, and it's done by a bunch of ex-Persona developers, which is obviously why I've had my eye on it. So that's coming February 22nd. So
What game?
yeah,
You didn't say
that's
the name.
going to be Monarch. I said Monarch.
Oh, I thought I don't know. Yeah, okay. You did.
Yeah, Monarch is coming out. So I'm stoked about that. Which is going to be in between Horizon and what's it called, Elden Ring. So when I get too mad at Elden Ring, I'm going to very easily just hop over and play Monarch instead. So I'm amped about that. I can't wait for that. And from what I remember, like I think over in Japan it got pretty decent reviews.
Okay,
cool. So I'm curious to check it out. I want a new JRPG. I'm in the mood.
Cool.
So I'm excited about it. Let's move over to March, my friend Darren. Because March does not slow down. We have Babylon's Fall on March 3rd, which is Team Ninja. Is that Team Ninja's game?
No, that's Platinum.
Platinum. It's Platinum's game. And then Gran Turismo 7 on March 4th. We have Assassin's Creed new DLC coming as well. We have Persona 4 Arena Ultimax on March 17th. Oh, did I miss that? Oh my god, I did. Yeah, Triangle Strategy March 4th. That I'm actually very excited about. I actually really like Octopath. And I'm actually genuinely curious about Triangle. We got WRC 10. I don't know what that is, but it's bolded on this thing. So yeah, shout out to that. The game of the year is coming out on March 18th. Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. We have Rune Factory 5 coming on March 22nd. Kirby and the Forgotten Land on March 25th, along with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands on the 25th as well. Koromon has been announced. That's coming March 31st. If you're curious about what that is, it's a Pokemon like. We have a preview up on the channel, so go check it out. Yeah, in terms of like the to be confirmed, GTA 5 is apparently supposed to be coming. The next gen remaster, whatever the fuck they're doing with it. But yeah, dude, March doesn't really slow down. Tell me about your feelings about March, Darren. How do you feel about March? Just as a month.
I feel like even more tickled by March than I think by February, despite February having Elden Ring. I mean, Elden Ring is big, but like, I don't think anything here for me personally will be as big as Elden Ring, but I think there's more there that appeals to me personally. Like,
tell me about it.
I will tell you about it, Matt. I will tell you about it right now.
Please. I know you're a big WRC fan.
Oh, huge. WRC. Which stands for anyways, Babylon's Fall is a game that comes out on March 3rd. Babylon's Fall, I'm not super interested in. I've seen some trailers. I'm kind of like, I love Platinum, but this looked like it needed some more time in the oven. It looks a little too games of service-y for my liking. But Gran Turismo 7, very cool. Triangle Strategy, very cool. You've got, honestly, like, I'm not ironically excited for Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Like, I am unironically kind of excited for that game.
What?
Because it looks like so bad it's good. Like, it looks like...
Did you see the new trailer today?
There's a new trailer today? I didn't see it.
They released like a new 5-minute long trailer, like a get hype thing. And
does it not look good?
Darren, just watch the trailer and then we'll talk. Okay?
Okay. All right.
But
oh my god.
But it looks like more of what we've seen.
And I kind of love that.
Is what I'll say.
When I saw the clip of the main character, what's his name, Jeff or something like that. Like, I can't remember. I think his name's like
Jack.
Jeff.
I don't know.
Jack.
I think
right,
it's Jack.
Yeah. He's got some like very un-Final Fantasy name, and he's talking to I can't remember. They're talking to some other character, and then he just says bullshit, and then starts playing like Finger 11 on his phone and walks away. Like, as soon as I saw that,
Jack. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, they might be doing this on purpose, but even if they're not, like, I'm into this absurdity. I'm into this weird pairing of Final Fantasy and like Dark Souls style gameplay. Like, that just is hilarious. But enough about that. My actual game that I'm most excited for in March is, of course, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Like, I've been wanting a 3D Kirby game for so long, ever since Kirby 64 Crystal Shards came out, and it had like a pseudo 3D aesthetic, I'm like, I would love Kirby to like make a big change because it's just been a side scroller for so long. And yeah, it looks cool. It's got the weird post-apocalyptic vibes. And Tiny Tina's Wonderland looks cool too, but like I don't know if I'm gonna get it because Gearbox always kind of disappoints me, and I don't want to I don't want to support Randy Pitchford.
I'm not gonna lie, Darren. I'm gonna trust whatever. I'm gonna trust whatever it is you just said. My mind left my body as I was reading what I'm about to tell you about. So yeah, Kirby looks cute. I'm sure it's gonna be cool. I actually am excited about Kirby as well. I haven't played a Kirby game in forever, but this one looks like it's going to be like a fun reinvention of what it is. But let's go back around to Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, because I'm pulling from Polygon here, written by Michael McWhorter. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins new trailer is brave enough to feature Frank Sinatra. So that's a start. But a slight spoiler for Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Evidently, it's in the trailer, or the developers have been talking about it.
Okay.
But to further confuse this entire clusterfuck of a situation, Jack, the main character, is Jack Garland, aka Garland, which was one of the main antagonists from the original Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Who created a 2,000-year time loop and ultimately transforms into chaos. Evidently, this game is a retelling of that story of how Garland... No, I did not know that. Of how Garland becomes chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's called Final Fantasy Origin, because it's meant to be a prequel to Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And that makes the game even fucking stupider in a very brilliant way.
Yeah.
Good God.
It's weird.
Anyways, fuck me, Darren. But in terms of March, I'm excited about Gran Turismo 7. I really, really enjoyed coming back to racing games with Forza Horizon 5. I think Xbox Canada. But like, I really genuinely enjoyed that game. And I'm kind of curious to now dip my fingers into Gran Turismo 7, because I don't think I've ever actually played Gran Turismo, let alone like genuinely tried to play it. So I'm excited to kind of give it a whirl, because it looks cool. Triangle Strategy, I'm actually really excited about. I love that engine, and I really liked Octopath, despite some issues that I had with the story or kind of overall. I think Triangle Strategy could be really, really cool. I'm excited to dive into Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I kind of missed it the first time around. Unless, I don't know, maybe I have it. I don't know, but do I have it already, Darren? Hold on. Let me
360
check my PlayStation. Well, it came out back in like the PS3 or PS4 era.
They remastered it for
Persona 4. Yeah,
no,
so this was...
It was the 360 game, I thought.
Was it?
Yeah. I thought it was. Maybe it was also on
Where
PS3?
did I play this game? I thought I played this game at least a little bit. Maybe I'm just a liar.
Maybe I just liar.
Yeah, because
it was on the PS3 apparently.
Liar.
There was a PS3
version.
So
but that's, maybe I own it, but I can't see it on my PlayStation app. Because possibly the backwards compatibility is not a thing that we talk about. I feel like it was a PlayStation Plus game, Darren.
Maybe a while
or
ago.
I bought it, or I bought it very cheap on sale because of Persona. But regardless, I'm excited to jump back in and give that game like an actual try, because I have heard that the story is actually pretty decent, as kind of like a follow up to what Persona 4 Golden was. So I'm excited to kind of jump in and check the story out. And then what's it called? I think Midas was telling me about Rune Factory 5. I'm curious to check it out. I don't know too much about it, but he seems really hyped about it. And usually, him and I are pretty on the same page when it comes to JRPGs. So I'm curious to take a look at it. I said I'm excited about Kirby. Tiny Tina's does nothing for me at all. I don't really care much for Borderlands, and this game, whatever. And again, fuck Randy Pitchford. And then I'm excited about Koromon as well. We previewed it, and it looks like it has some really cool ideas to be like a Pokemon-esque monster catching game, with an interesting with what seems to be possibly a very interesting story, which is always like the weakest part in my opinion when it comes to Pokemon games. So I'm excited to try that out. But yeah, that's kind of it. April, we get into a as of right now, April is and kind of moving forward, we have far less actually confirmed. But let's go through the games that we know are coming before we start speculation and talking about what we think or will be imminent. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga was announced to be coming out April 5th. And then 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, the Switch port, is coming April 12th. I'm Darren. I'm actually stoked about Lego Star Wars. I've never been excited. I've never much cared for Lego games. I've played a few of them, but never like I've been like really stoked on. But the latest trailer for this game got me hyped. It looks like they've overhauled combat. It looks like there's a lot of like flying that you can literally fly into space and then kind of come back down, a very No Man's Sky like. It seems like they're really doing a lot with this game, and I'm kind of baffled that it's one game that we're getting all 9 canonical movies in one place in Lego.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is I don't think that we're going to be getting the full stories. I think it's going to be like the greatest hits of each of the movies.
Mm-hmm. And I'm totally fine with that. They haven't announced anything in terms of co-op, both local or online. I'm hoping that we have some local co-op, because I would try and get Sucker Senna into playing this with me, because I think it looks fun. Yeah. But also I do want to highlight, I think it was Polygon's article about massive crunch that happened at TT Games, and it's happening, and it says like, so please just be aware of what the developers are going through, regardless of how excited you may be for the game. Do your research and understand what these developers are going through to bring you this game, because evidently it's been horrible. But regardless,
I'm not surprised. I would like to support these freaking Lego games come out so frequently, so often. Like, this is the first time we've had like years between Lego games, so I'm sure there's some crunch happening there.
Yeah, and evidently part of the problem is that it's planned crunch. Like, it was not like it was like, oh no, we're getting into kind of the final stages. Like, they knew it was happening for a long time and like planned for crunch rather than trying to plan around it. But yeah, and then 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim coming to Switch. I'm started the game on PlayStation. I need to go back to it because I was really enjoying it for what it was. But I think this is a perfect Switch game. I think it's going to do well here, because I've only ever heard fantastic things about this game. But yeah, what about you, Darren? How does April feel so far?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Would you like me to put them back in?
My mouth is open. Put the trash inside.
Let's move into May. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song is currently slated for May 19th. Forspoken is coming May 24th. And that's kind of the 2 major games that we have coming in May. Darren, tell me about your feelings about May.
Forspoken. That is May.
Right.
Forget everything else. May's Forspoken month, unless some other companies in the coming months announce something that's going to come in May. May is for Forspoken, which is a game that looks better the more I see it. But for some reason, I'm still not 100% sold on. And I think it's because of Square Enix. And they know how to mess up a good game sometimes. And some of the dialogue's a little cringy, in my opinion, with the main character just being like, oh man, it's an effing dragon, like that kind of thing. But like, I think the game looks good. It looks good. And I'm cautiously optimistic for it.
Yeah, I'm excited about Forspoken too. I think my expectations actually went down a little bit, and my hype was lessened slightly after the last trailer. Because from when we first saw this game, it looks beautiful. The traversal looks fluid. Like, it looks really, really cool. I like the isekai-esque setup of like, she's transported to this world that is not her own.
Yeah.
And some of the talent working on this game is also incredibly impressive. Like Gary Whitta and Amy Hennig. So like, I'm excited about it, but the last trailer kind of made me a little bit nervous. Like, the world seems a little bit empty, and it looks like as fast and as fluid as the traversal looks like from the last trailer, it looked like there's just a lot of empty space between things, which I'm hoping isn't the case. But again, like, it's early, like, the game is still months away. There's plenty of time for them to kind of finish up and touch things up. But Darren, I'm in your camp. I'm cautiously optimistic that this game's going to be really cool. But we'll see. We'll see. It's just a few months out. Do you think this gets delayed? Do you think Forspoken gets delayed out further?
Has it been delayed yet? I don't think there
no,
has
because
been
we haven't got. No,
I think it gets delayed, Matt. I think we're getting a delay for this one. I don't think they're gonna hit it.
I think you're right. I don't think it's gonna be a big delay for me. I think it's gonna be like a month kind of thing. Yeah. You think it's a big one?
No, I think it's gonna be a couple months. Like, I don't think it's gonna be big either.
Okay.
But it'll be like, I think they're gonna push it to like June or July.
Yeah. Yeah, to kind of bug fix and finish things up. I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to play this game, as soon as possible because it looks cool. But we'll find out, Darren. June 22nd, we have the only really big thing right now is the Cuphead DLC.
Which I'm excited
I have no feelings, Darren. Do you have feelings?
I do. You have feelings? I mean, I beat Cuphead, so I'm ready to break my controller all over again. Because there's just something so great about the artistry of the games, and I want to support them. And as frustrating as they are, they're very well made. And like, there's something about them that makes you want to keep trying. So I will be dipping in for that delicious last course.
Nice. August, we have Saints Row. I'm excited about it. I haven't played an open world game like this in quite a while, and I'm starting to feel that itch, and Saints Row looks like it'll scratch it. I hope it's going to be good. November is Starfield.
Oh, you're skipping over Scorn in October? How dare you, Matt?
Yeah.
How dare you skip Scorn?
Anyways. Yeah, Scorn. November is Starfield. Darren, where is your hype out of Starfield? We've seen nothing about this game. We've seen like a couple teasery-esque things. And evidently it is still slated to come out this year. And it's still on track to come out this year. Where are you at on this one?
I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. Like, I'm genuinely more excited for Scorn than I am for Starfield. That's not a joke. Like, Scorn.
I don't know what Scorn is. Okay, let's go back to October is coming. Scorn is coming in October. I don't know what Scorn is. What's Scorn?
Scorn is an Xbox exclusive console game.
Okay.
That is basically vaporware. Like, it's a game that's been perpetually delayed to the point that people don't think it's actually going to come out. Kind of like Atomic Heart, if you remember that one, where it was like,
I remember you telling me about this. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Atomic Heart was like this, like, Russian steampunk, like Russian Cold War punk, I think is what you'd call it, game. It's like survival thing. Scorn is like survival horror influenced by H.R. Geiger, alien style imagery. And it looks really cool. If the game comes out, it looks really cool. I hope it comes out, and I hope it's good. It's at least a lot more unique than Starfield, which I will use to segue back to November, where Starfield, I genuinely don't know what they could tell me to excite me, because so far it just sounds like nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm coming to the realization that Bethesda games may just not be for me. I've tried playing Fallout a bunch of times. I've tried playing Elder Scrolls a bunch of times, and they just never really click.
Even in
VR.
I
know that, like, even in VR, like, it feels like they're just kind of like the jank and like the kind of buggy mess that those games can be really takes away from it. But also, like, even outside of that, I just don't find them particularly engaging.
No,
I feel like the combat is just too lacking for like how much like is going on in that world. So I don't know. I would like to believe that Starfield's going to be cool, and like with it, I'm sure coming to Game Pass day one, I will check it out. But like, I have no feelings about it. Like, I'm not even like, oh, I'm so curious about what we're going to see about it. I'm kind of like, we'll see it, and I have no feelings.
I agree. I'm not even curious. Like, I genuinely don't even care about the game right now. They'd have to like really blow me out of the water for me to care, because like Bethesda's development studio, I think it's just Bethesda Softworks is the name of the developer, has like progressively gotten worse every game they've made, in my opinion. Like, they've lost creativity, they've lost like heart. It seems like they're going on this trajectory towards just like procedurally generated quests and like fetch stuff, and like they care more about the world and the lore than they care about the minute to minute gameplay. They want this like perpetual RPG that just like doesn't end up being very fun to play.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Darren. And then December, the only thing currently slated for December is Stalker 2, which just went through its own share of controversies where they're like, we're going to have NFTs and like crypto stuff. And then everybody was like, no. And they're like, okay, never mind, JK, we're not doing that. Yeah. I have no feelings about this. I've never played the original. I haven't really been following the second one at all. Any feelings, Darren?
The first game I know is supposed to be a very, very popular cult classic. And man, that kind of audience is not the kind of audience you're like, yeah, let's put NFTs in the game. Like, it's like going to some like, it's like going to like a taping of The Room at like a cinema. They're showing The Room and they're like, you can own a Tommy Wiseau NFT at the end. Like, the kind of audience that goes to see that movie are not the kind of audience that wants to frickin' get into cryptocurrency.
Yeah, especially as something stupid as NFTs. Yeah. But like, kudos to the developers for very quickly turning around and be like, never mind. We're not doing that. No. We're sorry. Because they did. So, but yeah, so that's on the calendar, Darren. I'm going to go through this to be confirmed list of games that are supposedly coming out this year, but that don't have dates. But we're not going to go through all of them because this is far too long. We're just going to pick out some of them. Massive. So Darren, stop me if I miss one that you're excited about.
Okay.
I want to start off by shouting out Bug Snacks. I love Big Snacks, the DLC. We love Bug Snacks. I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with that DLC. Ghostwire Tokyo, the PC PS5 exclusive, is still slated to be coming out early 2022. There are rumors of a big PlayStation State of Play happening in February, and there was some sort of leak where I think it was the PlayStation Store listed Ghostwire Tokyo as like a March 25th or something around that.
That'd be crazy.
Release date. If that's true, that game is imminent. And I've already mentioned I'm actually genuinely more excited about this game than a lot of other horror games because this game seems to be that you're going to be. It's pretty supernaturally, and you seem to be kind of powerful in this world. So I'm really excited about this one, Darren. You stoked on Ghostwire? Are you interested? Are you curious? What are your feelings?
I mean, I was more curious when it seemed like more of a straightforward horror game, but it still looks really unique, and I really want to see what they've been up to. Like, Tango is a very underrated studio, and it just looks bizarre in a good way. I'm in.
Yeah, me too. Stray is supposed to be coming early 2022. That is the cat game that we've seen at State of Plays. This game looks really interesting, and I'm very curious to see. I'm really curious to see more and kind of see what the minute-to-minute gameplay is going to look like.
Yeah.
We got Cyberpunk 2077, Darren. Evidently, the next gen patches are coming. Who knows when? But they're coming. Lord Winklebottom Investigates, which is the name of a game. Along with Pinku Cult Hex Mortis is another game.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Who pressed mute on Uncle Marcus?
Where these games? This is the stuff I came for. I want to know who pressed mute on Uncle Marcus.
Cotton Fantasy, which is an interesting name for a game. What else do we got here? Moss Book 2 is also supposed to be coming in spring. I have to play the first one. I bought it so long ago and I've just never played it. But that is one that I'm excited about.
Cat Cafe Manager is a game that Destiny would be into.
We previewed Cat Cafe Manager and spoke to the developers, and that game is cute.
Very cute.
So yeah, Darren, it's very cute. For anybody who wants to run a cat cafe, that'll be the game for you. Redfall is still slated for the summer of 2022. We still don't really know much about that outside of like the CG trailer that we got, but that game looks badass. Very curious to actually see what it is because it felt very kind of almost like Left 4 Dead-y. And I'm curious to see what it is. Sonic Frontiers, Darren, is a game.
It's a game.
I'll give it that for holiday 2022.
It's a game.
I'm morbidly curious about this one. This is the first Sonic game that I've been looking at that I'm just like, I actually want to see what this is.
I think morbidly curious is the exact correct phrasing to say about Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah. Little Devil Inside is also slated for winter 2022.
They just gotta fix their damn font size, because holy crap, that's some of the worst font I've ever seen in my damn life. But the game looks great.
Big. Yeah, the game looks super interesting. Avatar, that Ubisoft Avatar game, is a thing that's apparently supposed to be happening in 2022. Darren, do we actually see Bayonetta 3 this year?
Oh yeah, we do. No, we do. They've been making Bayonetta 3 for like 5 years. It's coming. And
do you think it comes out this year? Really?
I do. I don't think Platinum delays their games very often, or if they do, they don't delay them very long. And like when they showed that trailer, the game looked done. Like it looked like a finished game. So I do believe Bayonetta 3 comes out this year. And I'm
did they date it? Did they say 2022?
They did. They did say 2022.
Okay. Well, then, I guess we'll see.
Day one.
I don't know. I'm a wait and see on Bayonetta. I finished the first one. I can't even remember if I finished the second one. And those games are fine. Digimon Survive is one that I'm actually ridiculously fucking excited about. The art style looks really beautiful. And this is like a turn-based, almost like Fire Emblem-like tactics game, but with Digimon. I am in. I am so in. That game was unveiled like years ago, and it's been kind of, not talked about. But evidently it's supposed to be coming this year. I really hope it does, because that game looks really fucking cool.
I want to backtrack as well and shout out Chocobo GP, because I was actually a huge fan of Chocobo Racing back on the PS1. And Chocobo GP actually looks like a proper good kart racing game. Like Mario Kart's always been dominating for so long. So I would love, Chocobo GP to be good. Like I want some more kart racers out there.
Okay. Dokei V. I'm very curious to see more of. That game looked adorable and pretty cute. What else do we got here? Fall Guys still isn't on Xbox and Switch.
That's surprising.
I could have sworn that it was, but evidently that's coming this year. God of War Ragnarok, Darren. Same question. Do you think we actually get that this year?
That one I am less optimistic of. I actually don't think we get that one this year either. I think that's one that's going to be delayed till 2023. I know we got a lot of good footage of the game last year, but based on how much the first one was delayed, I think this one's going to be a similar situation.
Yeah, I can see this one hitting this year, but I also would not be surprised if it gets pushed back. If it does hit this year, there are some rumors that evidently people are saying that it could be much more imminent than we're expecting. Some people are saying it could hit as early as the summer, which would really shock me.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in November, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it get pushed.
Like November, October, if it comes earliest for me.
Yeah. If it comes earlier than that, then I'm obviously incredibly excited about that game. Gotham Knights is one that I'm lukewarm on this one, Darren. I don't know how you feel about Gotham Knights.
It's no Bayonetta 3, that's for sure.
Hogwarts Legacy is apparently supposed to be coming this year as well. We haven't really seen that game proper, but apparently we're.
I would also describe this one as morbidly curious, because I am interested, but like hopes are not a very high.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Especially with everything with, fucking J.K. Rowling and everything. It's some shit. So, I guess we'll see when we see. Breath of the Wild 2, Darren. Is that this year? It's still slated as this year. Do you think it hits?
No. I don't know. If I bet last year, I feel like maybe I for some reason feel like I remember saying that it would come out this year, and I was like 100% certain. Mm-hmm. I'm changing my mind. I don't think it comes out this year. I think it's being pushed again. Zelda just takes so long. They always delay it so much.
Yeah, I would, again, this one falls into like God of War territory for me, where like if it hits this year, I wouldn't be surprised, but if it doesn't, again, all right. I really do think we're going to see whatever is the next iteration of the Switch alongside this game. So I feel like the development for this game is kind of twofold. A, is it going to be launching on whatever this new platform supposedly possibly could be? And B, if it is, then if that platform is not ready, do they delay the game alongside it to make sure that it comes out together? Because this for me is just such an easy story to be like Legend, Breath of the Wild 1 came alongside Switch 1, Breath of the Wild 2 alongside Switch Pro, Switch 2, whatever it could be.
Yeah, and my opinion, I don't believe that. And I think another reason I don't believe that, other than this game being in development like very soon and Switch being still very profitable, I don't think they're going to go on to a Switch 2 yet. But also, it's using the same assets and engine from Breath of the Wild 1. So I feel like it would be a weird game to showcase the new console because there's nothing new about like the graphics or the engine. It's like, it would be like using Majora's Mask to showcase the GameCube. Like I don't see it.
I don't think this will be their like tentpole look at the graphics on this thing, but I do think that, I don't know. I just have a feeling, Darren. It's I could be wrong.
We will see.
Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is supposed to be coming this year. I'm excited about that. I like the first one. It was fun. Marvel's Midnight Suns is another one that I'm really excited about. Midnight Suns.
No, I mean, I am. Sorry, I cut off because I was going to mention Lord of the Rings Gollum. Because that is a game that was announced like 2 years ago or something, and I guess they're still making a stealth-based Gollum game, so look forward to that. But yes, I am very excited for Midnight Suns. Yeah,
there's nothing about a Gollum game that could possibly excite me.
I'm very excited for Midnight Suns though. Yeah, very excited.
Me too. I'm very curious to see more of it. Again, like the fusion of card-based and tactical fights for me is really great. I know a lot of people aren't as excited about that. I personally, this is 100% up my alley. So fuck yes. Organs, please. Is a game.
I love that name. Organs, please. Yes. Hearts, livers, spleens. I'll take them all.
Yeah. Outer Worlds 2 is apparently this year. Oxenfree 2, I'm excited about. The first Oxenfree was a fantastic, weird little game. So I'm excited to get back into that world and fuck around more in that. Sea of Stars, I'm excited about. The successor to, the new game behind the team that did The Messenger. And that game looks just fucking beautiful. I want it. Darren, I know you mentioned before we started recording, I know how stoked you are about Skull and Bones.
That game's never coming out. If it comes out, they made a mistake.
Is there one that I missed here that you were starting to say something?
Yeah, there was a couple. I just want to shout out A Plague Tale Requiem, because A Plague Tale Innocence was a really good game. And that's the one with the rats, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, I know.
I know that's exactly why you didn't want to mention it, but I want to mention it because I think that's a really good example of like a AA game. I want to see more AA games. I think there's room for games made on a lower budget, but still like not too low a budget, like an appropriate budget, like how Dark Souls started. So Plague Tale Requiem is something that I think is worth checking out and looking forward to. And also just laughing about Resident Evil RE-verse, which is their multiplayer shooter where you play different characters from the Resident Evil series. I just want to laugh about it for a second because that was supposed to come out last year, like very shortly after Resident Evil 8, if I remember correctly, and it's still not out. And I think also if that one comes out, they've made a mistake.
Please be excited. Splatoon 3, Darren, does that hit this year?
That does. I think there's a much higher chance of Splatoon 3 coming out than Breath of the Wild 2. That comes out because Nintendo's been like not supporting Splatoon 2 forever, and it always does well. It's crazy big in Japan, and I don't think it's like that hard to make. Like, it doesn't seem that hard for Nintendo to make them because they're all made on like the same engine, like Splatoon 2, just incremental over Splatoon 1, but like still significant enough to exist as a sequel. Splatoon 3 looks to be like the same, but with just a more deeper single player mode. So like, yeah, I don't see that one getting delayed. I'd be surprised if that one gets delayed.
Yeah, I liked the bit of Splatoon 2 that we played. I genuinely did enjoy it, but I think it was a lack of single player stuff that kind of like I thought the single player stuff was just all right. This is one for me that I'm on a wait and see. If they sell me on it, if they sell me on it, if they don't, they don't. Whatever.
Yeah, you convinced me to
Suicide
buy
Squad.
Splatoon 2, and you're like, Darren, play Splatoon 2 with me. And I bought the game, and then you played it with me one time, and then never played it again. But then I ended up putting like 60 hours into it and greatly enjoyed my purchase.
There you go. Happy mistakes. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. I'm more excited about this one than Gotham Knights.
Oh, 100%.
Personally.
Yeah. Same.
This looks cool, fighting the Justice League as and in the hands of Rocksteady. I'm very curious to see how this is going to shake out more because the game looks cool, and the last gameplay thing that we saw got me more excited.
Yeah. No, Rocksteady has been making this game forever. It better be darn good, but it looks good. So
it better be darn good. I know Destiny would get mad if we didn't shout out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge, which looks awesome. Looks beautiful.
Thought they actually gave a release date for that, didn't they? Or is it still unknown? I know they delayed it. But I guess they...
Is there an answer for you, Darren?
I'd like to know.
No, it doesn't look like they've dated it. It does not look like they've dated it, no.
Oh,
I think they just said it's delayed without giving it a date.
Darn.
What else is here? Anything else that's jumping out at me?
Trash Sailors.
Down this list. Ultimate Summer. Not just Summer. Unknown 9 Awakening.
The Fertile Crescent.
Venba. We Are OFK. I'm actually really, really excited about We Are OFK. It looks like a really weird, interesting game. The last trailer is one of the few video game trailers that actually had me laughing. It's like the story of like a band kind of thing. It looks really weird, but really cool. I'm actually really excited about We Are OFK.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think that's all of it, Darren. I think that's kind of all the big, small, and everything in between games coming this year. Darren, if everything hits, Darren, this year, if we get God of War, if we get Legend of Zelda, if we get Splatoon, if we get Bayonetta, this could go down as one of the best years of gaming ever. If nothing gets delayed and everything hits, and even if a couple things slide, I'm very excited for this year, my friend.
Right now, this year, like you said, if everything hits, this is going to be, and even if everything doesn't hit, I think this is going to be a better year for games than 2021. Like this is shaping up to be a big year. We knew that 2021 was going to be a year that was full of delays because of COVID, and this is where the 2021 games were supposed to come out. We're getting them in 2022, so 2022 is going to be just filled with joy.
It's going to be an absolute roller coaster. Darren, if you had to pick one game, just tell me which one is the highest on your hype list for this year. If there's one game that, regardless of whether we know a date or not, if you were like, if I could have this game in my hands now, what is the one game?
Okay, well, if we're going to go that way, then I have to say Breath of the Wild 2.
Okay.
Because Breath of the Wild 1 was not my favorite Zelda game, but it is, in my opinion, one of the best open world games ever made. And I don't think many people have done open world better than Breath of the Wild. And you can tell how good it was because a lot of games tried to take ideas from it since then. And Breath of the Wild 2, if it improves on the areas I want it to improve, I can see it being my favorite Zelda game of all time. I'm very excited for it. If it's a game that we know is coming out this year, Elden Ring. And I mean, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think my opinion of Breath of the Wild soured a little bit more as time went on. But I think, like you said, if they improve upon it and they really build on what the first one was, I think the second one could be something really, really special. Also, obviously excited, about God of War on Horizon because I think it's going to be a very interesting battle for Cody.
What is your game, Matt? What is your one game you want to play right goddamn now?
I think Breath of the Wild 2 is my answer as well, honestly. Like, I'm really, really genuinely curious about it. Yeah, and like I have very fond memories of the first one. Like, I like the time that we spent in it, especially because like I know Senna's gonna be playing it too because she loved the first one. Yeah. It's gonna be like I'm excited for that game. and for what that game will bring. And like, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it.
Mhm.
But as you mentioned, if we're talking about games that like we know we have a date that we know is coming, I think for me, it's Horizon. I really do think like Forbidden West is going to be a notable step up, and I'm excited to get my hands on it and to dive in because I think it could be really, really special.
Well, if that's the case, we're both going to have a very good February.
We are going to be eaten, my friend. There's going to be lots going on, and I'm going to beat Elden Ring before you just for the sake of doing so. But that brings us to the end of the show, my friend. Thank you for going on this walk down the path that is 2022 with me. But before we go, Darren, if people wanted to find more of you, where could they find you?
You can find me at burnout_Darren on Twitter.
Yeah, on burnout_Darren. You can find Destiny at DNBC32 on Twitter. You can find me at burnout_Matt. You can also find me over at You Me and Capri, where I co-host the PlayStation Drive each and every week. Those episodes go live Friday, where we talk PlayStation and nothing but PlayStation for a whole 40 to 45 minutes every week. And please make sure you also go over to youtube.com/burnoutbrighter. Give us those subscribes. And if you're on Spotify, please hit us with that 5-star rating on Spotify now that that's a thing, because Spotify, you can now rate your podcast. If you're on Apple or you have a friend or family member on who's on Apple, hop onto there and throw us a 5-star review for that. It makes a big difference for us. We're trying to get those reviews up because it makes a huge difference for us in terms of discoverability. So please, if you have not yet rated us, please do so. Throw those 5 stars down. Hit us with some lovely words, and we would appreciate it very, very much. Everyone, thank you for rocking with us. We'll see you next week for Team Burnout. Peace out.
Later. Oh, and also a great way to start the podcast is me saying, and also we're gonna cut this. This is not part of it.